checking him out, okay? Just making sure.
Okay, Brian, we're ready to get started. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order of the Homewood City Council for Monday, November 4th, 2024. We're going to be led by our invocation tonight from Councilor Smith, and that'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll all rise, please.
If any of you are experiencing anxiety like I am these days, I decided to do one of my favorite Bible verses tonight. It's Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. If you'll bow your heads and pray with me. Dear God, forgive us the times we've entered into conversations without really listening. Show us how to listen with open and humble hearts, especially to people who are different from us. Help our leaders to do the same. Teach us as a nation to focus less on getting our way and more on loving our neighbors, especially the most vulnerable among us. Lord, give our leaders and prospective leaders the strength to be humble, soft-hearted, and willing to listen to every voice. It is in your high and most holy name we pray. Amen.
Face the flag. Attention. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Mr. Segrist, if you'll call roll, please.
Yes, sir. Counselor Gwaltney. Here.
Here.
Holloman. Wolverton.
Here.
Sims. Smith.
Here.
Nelms.
Here.
Andrus.
Here.
Harden.
Here.
And President Jones.
I am here. I am here. So please bear with me as we work through. Not an easy agenda tonight, so just please grant me some grace here as we work through this. First item on the agenda here, we're going to get to a very important activity here in just a minute, but let's go ahead and take care of this. Reading of the minutes from October 28th. Do we have a motion to dispense with the reading of said minutes and approve them as distributed?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I believe that was Counselor Smith, and Counselor Nelms seconded that. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 8-0, that passes. Okay, and then we have, next we have board vacancies. We have one of them, the Ward 3 Place 2 person is not over there anymore. So we need to, the first item of business, I guess, would be to declare a vacancy within the Ward 3 Place 2 position. So that would be the first order of business. So is there a motion to declare a vacancy?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Counselor Gwaltney made the motion. Counselor Smith seconded that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So that's 8-0. Okay, and then we had already opened up, or made it known that this was an opening, and we carried it over till today, so that we're going to have. Right now, it looks like we're going to have interviews on I believe the 15th, if that works for everyone. Counselor Smith was
That's a Friday.
checking his calendar. No, I'm sorry, not the 15th, the 13th, Wednesday the 13th, starting at 5 that day.
How long is the position open until?
Well, we left it
Oh, it closed today.
left it
Okay,
open
I'm
until
sorry.
today.
Okay, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
it-
We
it
declared
closed
the
at 4.
We
vacancy.
just declared, okay, I'm
And
sorry.
now
I
it's
didn't know.
closed.
We just officially declared it.
We officially. yes.
Okay, okay.
And I believe we have 6 candidates,
6.
6
And
candidates.
the interviews will be, all the way until the 15th, and then the appointment should come on the 18th.
That's right. That's
But
right.
if we can, in personal preference, and I don't know how
Oh, no.
President Jones feels about this, I would love if we can do them all
In one night.
in
yes.
one night, that would be preferable.
Yes,
I
I'm thinking
mean-
20-minute increments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the, yeah, I mean, and if that needed to be a situation where we might back up the time a little bit
We can.
to accommodate that.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Forward.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
That'd be great.
So we'll work through that. Thank you for your patience in handling that. Okay. Are there any other board vacancies we need to discuss?
There's currently an open position for Ward 4 Park Board, but that is open until until the 18th, until our next meeting on the 18th, I think at 4 o'clock.
That is Ward 3.
Oh, Ward 3, I'm sorry, I said Ward 4.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
yeah,
Ward
Ward
3, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that'll be until the 18th, when that closes. Okay, we have several items to add to the agenda. As you know, we picked a night where we had committee meetings, so we have a few items. Here are a list of the items. The most important item that we have to add is the swearing in of Alex James Wyatt, from council president to mayor. We're very formal here. So we're going to add that one first, so our wonderful judge in the back can enjoy his Monday. Yes, sir. Sorry. James Alex? Oh, I'm sorry. I was given poor and bad information.
I just thought you didn't want to make it official, and so
What do you have, Judge? Okay, James Alex White. Got it. All right, and then here are the items we're gonna add, to old business, 02-10-24, request for consideration from the city to take on maintenance service costs for 3 streetlights in the Gadsby subdivision. We're gonna add 09-10-24, request to surplus miscellaneous IT equipment. We're gonna add 10-10-24, request to set bid date for new police vehicles. We're going to add 11-10-24, request to authorize the mayor to sign an IGA with the city of Birmingham. 13-10-24, request for consideration of creating a Homewood beautification plan. And then we're going to also add 14-09-24, request for consideration of zoning adjustments related to grade. And lastly, 08-11-24, request to change signatures on bank accounts. We'll get your name correct on that, Mayor. Okay, so is there a motion to approve the amended agenda?
I have
So-
one question, I'm sorry, one question before you do
Yes.
that. The 1409, wasn't, that is going to,
Consent.
that's going to the consent agenda, correct?
That's correct.
Yes,
Okay.
that is going to, that's
Consent.
going to consent,
Okay.
1409-24, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so that one is going to consent, that's correct.
And then I'm assuming that the check.
And then 08-11-24 is
that's going
going
to
to other new business.
Right, okay,
Yes,
thank
that
you.
is correct.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification.
Sure, okay. And
Will you
then,
make an,
he made the motion, and I will happily
Walton.
second, I will happily second that.
and Counselor Smith seconded the amended agenda. For a motion and a second, any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's 8-0. Okay, we now have the swearing in of our new mayor.
You have to get your camera out.
Well,
yeah, I'm calling her up here.
If you'll raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I,
I,
state your name, please.
James Alexander Wyatt,
solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
solemnly swear that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution of the United States,
the state of Alabama,
the state of Alabama,
as long as I continue to be a resident and a citizen thereof,
as long as I continue to be a citizen and a resident thereof,
and that I will faithfully and honestly discharge
and that I will faithfully and honestly discharge
the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Let me be the first to congratulate you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank all of y'all. I
Mr.
look
Mayor.
forward to working with you. I'm sure I'll have more to say later, but appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor. All right. Okay,
Yo.
there's no, yeah, you can be excused. Okay, moving on in the agenda, we have, the consent agenda. Is there approval to approve the consent agenda?
Second?
Counselor Wolverton, second by Counselor Smith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's 8-0. The consent agenda is approved. And starting with old business. Let's see here. We have, starting with 08-09-24, request to set bid date for October 29th, 2024 for Fire Station 3. We have a report from Finance tonight, and Mrs. Smith.
Yes, this is an item that had been carried over for the bid opening, which we had on October 29th. There were 3 bidders. We heard from Chief Broadhead tonight about the project, and we are carrying this item over again just for some further looking at the project, and we will deal with it on the 18th.
Great.
So carryover.
Thank you for that. Okay, 02-10-24, request for consideration for the city to take over maintenance and service costs for 3 streetlights in the Gadsby subdivision. Coming to us from Randy Hambley, and a report from Finance, Mrs. Smith.
Yes, we did hear from Mr. Hambley and voted 5-0 to approve the city taking over the responsibility for the maintenance and service costs of those 3 streetlights in the Gadsby subdivision. It's $94.47. The cost is $94.47 per month for those 3 lights. The motion was made by myself and seconded by Mr. Elamon.
Okay, thank you for that report. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? That passes. That's resolution 24-155. And Mr. Kendrick, that's our first resolution, correct? Okay. Okay, so that's 155. Okay, moving on, 09-10-24, request to surplus miscellaneous IT equipment, coming to us from our IT director. And do we have a report from Finance, Mrs. Smith?
Yes, we heard from Mr. Sims, and it's a conglomeration of items that they have found around that are no longer useful. And so the committee voted 5-0 to approve surplusing the items as listed. The motion was made by myself and seconded by Mr. Gwaltney.
Okay, thank you. And this is going to be handled as an ordinance, because that's what the city of Birmingham requires. No, I'm sorry. That's another item. So just for this, we have an ordinance. So, Mr. Kendrick, if you could have our first reading.
Yes, there's an ordinance to declare certain property surplus. Hereby established and declared that the following described personal property of the city is no longer needed for public or municipal purposes, and is declared surplus property. The property is described in Exhibit A as 3 pages of miscellaneous IT equipment, monitors, other things I can't identify, but all of which are coming from the IT department. Section 2, the mayor and the clerk are authorized and directed to dispose of the property by auction to the highest bidder.
Thank you, Mr. Kendrick. And is there a motion for unanimous consent to handle this tonight?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Counselor Smith, second by Counselor Nelms. For unanimous consent, roll call vote, please. Mr. Segrist.
Yes, sir. Counselor Walden,
Yes, sir.
Gear,
Yes.
Wolverton. Yes. Smith,
Yes.
Nelms,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
and President Jones.
Yes. Okay, and Finance has already recommended this, so we don't need a motion and a second for that. If we can have another roll call vote for approval, Mr. Segrist.
Yes, sir. Counselor Walden,
Yes, sir.
Gear,
Yes.
Wolverton. Yes. Smith,
Yes.
Nelms,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
President Jones.
Yes, and that passes 8-0. That's ordinance number 2916. All right. Next, we have 10-10-24, request to set bid date for new police vehicles coming to us from the chief, and we have a report from Finance.
Yes, the committee heard from Mr. Smith, Lester Smith, our new finance director, and we have set that bid date for November 18th at 4 p.m., and we'll open those bids at 4:01. The motion was made by myself and seconded by Mr. Alamon, and that was a 5-0 to set that bid date on the 18th.
Okay. Thank you for that report. I believe this is just a voice vote, right, Mr. Kendrick?
Sure.
All right, all in favor of the item, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that's 8-0, that passes to set that bid date. Okay, this is the item I was thinking about, so I apologize. 11-10-24, request to authorize the mayor to sign an IGA with the city of Birmingham, and as I mentioned, Birmingham is requiring the ordinance. So, Mr. Kendrick, if you will, well, first, let's get a report from Finance. First, Mrs. Smith.
Yes, I met with Kel Smith earlier. This is a project that is along the side of Green Springs Highway, and we are going to partner with the city of Birmingham to get this project done. So we are going to take care of the project. Berkeley is going to assign the contractor, and then we are going to be reimbursed half of the cost by the city of Birmingham. So we just need the two mayors to sign that agreement to share that cost. And that came out of finance with an approval, 5-0, motion made by myself and seconded by Mr. Harden.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith, for that. Now, if we can get a first reading, Mr. Kendrick.
Yes, there's an ordinance to provide for an interlocal cooperative governmental agreement between the city of Birmingham and the city of Homewood. Whereas the city of Birmingham, a municipal corporation, and the city of Homewood, a municipal corporation, desires to enter into an interlocal cooperative agreement that will benefit both cities. Whereas Homewood and Birmingham desire to enter into this agreement for the public purpose of making certain improvements to repair the drainage ditch along Green Springs Highway that bisects both municipalities. And whereas the Alabama legislature has adopted Alabama Code Section 11-102-1, which permits the entering of interlocal governmental agreements. Whereas all parties find that it is in the public interest that the parties enter into the interlocal cooperative agreement in accordance with Section 11-102-1 of the Code of Alabama in order to authorize the sharing of municipal equipment and services for the benefit of both municipalities. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Homewood as follows. Section 1, the Mayor of the City of Homewood is hereby authorized to enter into the interlocal cooperative agreement with the City of Birmingham, a copy of which is attached as Exhibit A. Section 2, severability. The provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable. Any of these sections, provisions, sentences, clause, phrases, or parts is held to be unconstitutional or void, the remainder shall continue in full force and effect. Section 3, the ordinance shall be published as required by law. Section 8, Exhibit A is an interlocal cooperative agreement that the mayor will authorize to sign.
Thank you, Mr. Kendrick. Do we have a motion for unanimous consent to handle this tonight?
Second.
Okay, I believe that was Counselor Nelms and Counselor Gwaltney that seconded that. If we have a roll call vote, Mr. Segrist?
Yes, sir. Counselor Walden,
Yes, sir.
Gear,
Yes.
Wolverton. Yes. Smith,
Yes?
Nelms,
Yes.
Andrews,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
President Jones.
Yes. Okay, that passes 8-0 for unanimous consent. We have also already have the finance recommendation 5-0. If we can have a roll call vote for approval.
Yes, sir. Counselor Gwaltney?
Yes, sir.
Gear?
Yes.
Wolverton? Yes. Smith?
Yes?
Nelms?
Yes.
Andrus?
Yes.
Harden?
Yes.
President Jones?
Yes, and that passes 8-0. That will be ordinance number 2917. All right, so now we are down to the committee referral. Are there any questions about that? Is there a motion to approve the referral agenda? All right, Council
Second.
Wolverton, and who seconded? And Councilor Smith. Any questions on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 8-0, that passes. And now we move on to other new business. We just have a few items here. And keep me honest, make sure I didn't miss anything here. 06-11-24, request for consideration of an ABC 020 restaurant retail license for Do Not Disturb Lakeshore LLC, located at 350 State Farm Parkway. We do have, Mr. Segrist, we have already letters of no objection received from fire and police. Is that correct? And
That is
Mr.
correct,
Baldwin?
sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, and we have their ABC license affirmed by the state ABC. So I would make a motion for approval.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion as to having no objection to the issuance of the license by Councilor Gwaltney, and it's seconded by Councilor Wolverton. Any other questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's 8-0, that passes. 07-11-24, request for consideration of approval of vouchers for period of October 29th, 2024 through November 4th, and Councilor Smith has been working on those. So do you have a report for us?
I do. I looked over the vouchers, and with the exception of one that we pulled, I would move to approve the vouchers from October 29th through November 4th.
Second.
And there's a second. Who was that? Councilor Gwaltney seconded that. Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's 8-0. And is that resolution 157? Okay. All right.
And then President Jones,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session, please.
Okay, we have a motion to go into executive session. Could we,
The discussion will be limited to 15 here.
Okay? And
Second.
Okay, and I think that should probably take us about, what, 10, 15 minutes? 10 minutes? 15,
Okay.
we'll say 15, just to be safe.
okay, so a motion, and who seconded?
I did.
Okay, Counselor Harden seconded.
There's one thing we haven't approved yet, the bank signature.
Yeah, 08-11-24.
Sorry.
We'll do it when you come back.
We'll do it when we come back.
No, it's-
Or you want it, do we need to take care of it now?
No.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? That's 8-0, and we'll be back to handle that.
Your good name. to, we have to change the signatures.
Don't we still have to do the check signature too?
Yes.
I'd make a motion to re-adjourn.
Second. Second.
Motion from, Mr. Gwaltney to, go back into regular session. and-
Second.
Okay. No.
Second.
Oh,
Second. I'm kidding.
Andrus made the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's 8-0 to go back into session. We have one more item on the agenda, 08-11-24, request to change signatures on bank accounts. Come to us from J.J. Bischoff. And we just need to have a motion to make those changes. Is there a
So moved.
motion?
Second.
Yes.
It's a resolution act.
It's a resolution, so we,
What do we have?
And we're changing it, I think it was Andy and Melanie, but we're
Okay.
changing it from, we're
Gwaltney.
taking Patrick
Okay,
off
was
and putting Walter.
did you second that? And Counselor Gear. Okay, any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? It's 8-0.
Resolution 24-158.
158. Okay, and just quickly, before we go into mayor comments, I just want to, without objection, announce a few things in terms of the structure of the council. And this is really an important thing in terms of what we're tasked to do. So for the, I'd like to appoint, without objection, the city manager ad hoc committee. And that's going to be comprised of Counselor Gwaltney, Alaman, Counselor Smith, Counselor Sims, and Counselor Andrus. So you'll be tasked with kind of leading that effort to have an interim city manager. Very important job. I would like, in light of where I am now, and we've declared the vacancy in Ward 3, so I will no longer be chair of finance. I'd like to, without objection, Counselor Smith take over as chair of finance as well as president pro tem. I'd like to also appoint Counselor Sims as the chair of special issues. 'Cause we have a opening there as well. So those are the items. I'm sure there might be some changes later, but that's kind of my thinking in terms of where we are. So does anyone have any objection to that?
Do we need to make a motion for that, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll
let's
make
have
a motion to
approve
approve
those items.
Counselor Smith is the head of finance, and to have an opening for special issues. I'm sorry, Nick
Yeah.
Sims.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. Your
And did you second that? Second. And Counselor Wilkerson. Okay, any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Honor.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Does that include the ad hoc committee
Yes.
in the
That-
motion?
That would include the ad hoc committee, which would be Gwaltney, Alaman, Smith, Sims, and Andrus.
Is that part of your motion, Mr. Arden?
Yes.
You accept that?
Any
And you
second?
accept that second? Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Just to make sure, we'll have one more roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's 8-0. Thank you, Mr. Kendrick, for keeping us straight. Okay, and now we go to our first comments from the mayor.
Wow.
By the way, it's much easier down here.
You have to wait for everybody else.
No,
You go
but it is a
first.
little, it does take, I keep expecting on the roll call vote for the last thing to be President Wyatt, and I almost said yes a couple of times. It's weird not to vote after 10 years. So first of all, I just want to thank my family, who's already eating without me, for coming tonight and supporting me, not just tonight, but throughout the past decade as I've done this and served the city. I couldn't have done it without them. They, quite frankly, go through more than, as I think all of your families do, oftentimes go through more than we do with some of the stuff that happens and is said and things like that. So I very much appreciate them and them putting up with this and allowing me to do this. Secondly, I just want to thank all of you. I have, like I said, it's different being down here, and I'm sure there will be times where I miss being up there. But I appreciate getting to serve with each and every one of you on council for however long each of us have served on council for. It's a little bit different with each person. I value that time, and I value each of you. And I am very proud of the work that this council and the previous councils that I've been a part of have done over the past decade. It's amazing how different Homewood is now than it was then, and I mean that in a good way. You know, if you just look at 18th Street or you look at West Homewood, you can see some of the things that are impressive, and we will continue to make changes, and it will be my honor to get to do that from this position rather than up there, and I look forward to doing it with each of you. So thank all of you for all of that. Okay, now to like real comments. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up. Holiday Open House is going to be Thursday, November 7th from 5 to 8. Memorial Day will be the Monday after that. Just a reminder that City Hall will be closed that day, and I'm sorry, Veterans Day. I said Memorial Day, didn't I? Veterans Day on the 11th. We're obviously not having meetings that night, but City Hall will be closed that day. We have the Edgewood tree lighting on November 15th at 6:30. And Edgewood Elementary's 100th anniversary is on Sunday, November 17th from 2 to 4. When I was there for My Pal's Day, and there's a lot of y'all were there too, while we were waiting to go back, they were showing some of the video stuff from the 100th year celebration, some of the pictures and stuff from, and I wouldn't have known it was Edgewood, quite frankly, from the pictures if it hadn't had a caption up there saying it. So anyway, try to join everybody for that. It should be a good time. Obviously, we will have some more stuff coming up in December with a greenway opening that I'm not going to steal your thunder on, and the parade. So looking forward to all that. Looking forward to the next year. Thank all of y'all. We'll keep going.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, Councilor Gwaltney.
So I do not need to set public safety because we do not have any items. And besides congratulations to everyone, I don't have any comments.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Gear?
I'd just like to say I was really glad to hear about announcing the ad hoc committee for the city manager. Glad we're moving on that first thing. So look forward to hearing more about that and with the committee, with that group. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Okay, Councilor Wolverton?
Yes, congrats to Alex for the move up, and Walter for you as well, and to Barry. You got some fun shoes to fill on finance. We have one item for Public Works, so I will set Public Works for following finance. What's that? Yeah, and it's going to be, I guess, a compact meeting again on the 18th, so we'll come straight in here afterwards. I think, let's see. That's it for tonight. Yep.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Wolverton. Councilor Smith?
I guess I inherit the finance 5 o'clock slot, so ha, how about that? I get to go first from now on. That's amazing. So finance at 5, we have a couple of items. We're having park board this week. We are going to move our committee meetings to Wednesday because of the election, because, you know, the polling place at the rec center. So we'll be doing committees for park board on Wednesday and park board meeting on Thursday. And just to toot my kid's horn a little bit, Kyle and I were able to travel to Conway, Arkansas to watch Rhodes clinch the regular season conference title a couple of weeks ago, and they are hosting the conference tournament in Memphis this weekend. So we're going to be going to watch them play for all the whole enchilada. And like Kyle says, at some point here soon, we're gonna be crying on the field. We don't know when that's gonna be, but it's coming. I'll probably be crying more than anybody else out there. But, you know, we've been playing soccer since he was 3, so it's gonna be a whole thing when he's done. But that's it.
Okay, thank you. Counselor Nelms.
Yes, I don't have anything tonight, but congratulations, everybody. I love everything that we're progressing through with my time on the council, so it's pretty cool.
Counselor Andrews.
I do not need to set P&D. I was sitting outside the track shack at 4:15 this afternoon, and who did I see but Patrick McCluskey. I was taking one of the girls to the track shack to buy some shoes. I said, "Are you going to come join us tonight?" And he's like, "Nope, see ya." That was really, really funny to see him at that time. I want to thank the Garden Club for having me. I came to their meeting last week and spoke. It happened to be at Ginger Busby's house. She sends her congratulations to you, President Wyatt. President Jones. It's going to take a minute.
Hard habits.
It is, but we had a great visit. You know, I always go about once a year and I present kind of everything that's going on in the city. And this year, having Ginger there, it was kind of fun because, you know, we could kind of play off each other a little bit. We talked a lot about a lot of stuff that y'all did when she was here, and it was really just to talk about like the plaza and how it's used now, when knowing that she was really, you know, involved in getting City Hall here. It was just really, it was a cool conversation. I enjoyed it very much, and. Okay, I want to wish good luck to the cross-country teams. They are going to state. The boys came in first in sectionals, and the girls came in second. And TBD on the Greenway ribbon cutting. But I will tell you that on December the 3rd, we will be out on the Greenway, and you guys are all welcome to come for Red Rock Tuesday.
It's on December the 3rd because I said in a news interview.
It is on.
December 3rd, so it's on the 3rd.
You can flash the lights outside of City Hall. It is on December 3rd. We will be on Phase 2 of the Greenway with JJ Pruitt. That's right. For Red Rock Tuesday with JJ Pruitt, we're going to do 4 segments, and so it will be open by then. I will let you all know.
Have the
when
owls
the
been
ribbon cutting will be
invited?
there. What's that?
Have the owls been invited?
Well, I have an update on that. So, do you guys want an update, or because it's not in committee right now? I'm going to put it back on the finance agenda with your approval, of course, but with both your approvals. But I will tell you that you know, we've gotten together with Sanford and Chris Sykes, and Sanford is doing some temporary signs just to warn people. And we approved some verbiage today, so that's coming. And then I've got some pricing, and Sanford's going to help price, so I'll get that. But we are working on that, and I'll give you updates as we could move along on that.
Okay, Counselor
that's
Harden.
it.
Okay, thank you. Counselor Harden.
Other than telling everybody here, I appreciate those who have stepped up to higher jobs that are going to take more work. And, you know, not every city's got folks that are willing to do that. And so we live in an amazing city that you have to almost be from somewhere else, like Andrew and I are, and Jennifer. But we live in an amazing city. So thank y'all. That's all.
All right, thank you. And Counselor Wolverton had something else.
I did forget 2 quick updates. We Love Trees Day was Saturday. I would say the attendance was well. Counselor Gwaltney came by as well. They had actually sold out on the tree giveaway. I think within the first week of them putting the event up, and so they actually thought it prudent to shift some of their funds over to purchase some additional trees. They had 2 different Boy Scout troops out there helping out as well, and they had several booths, including I learned several things. The fire department actually has a cooking oil recycling program, and they have separate jugs that you can pick up, fill up, drop them off at the fire station, pick up a new one, et cetera, because vegetable oil and cooking oils aren't supposed to go down the drain or in the sewers. So there were lots of cool things. I also learned that Red Mountain Park, as well as Ruffner Mountain, and what's the third one? Oh, Turkey Creek have all kind of combined forces and utilized resources.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realize all 3 of them were.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
I can tell you all about that.
Yeah.
I'm on the commission for that.
Yeah. So, well, I learned because there was a booth there, and
Yeah,
there was a
okay.
very
Did you meet
jovial,
Fran?
upbeat young man there staffing the booth. So,
Was it Sloan?
huh?
Was it Sloan?
Probably. I don't know. Yeah. He's a young cat. He was real hyped about it. So, but all that to say that it was a great event. NBC actually did a little spot on it. So, I've recorded it if anybody wants to see it. But it was great. And then Hall Kent Fall Festival was also on Saturday, as well as flag football. So flag football's wrapped up for Homewood Parks and Rec. But personally, our boys had their first season and had a great experience. And so just want to thank all the coaches that poured into them and helped them really enjoy that experience. So, and then lastly, we have two soccer players. It's not going to be their last game ever, but it will be their last games of the season. The 5-year-old plays tomorrow night. We're hoping his teacher is Miss Brandt, so we're hoping she'll come out and kind of see him and a couple classmates. And then Clark has his last game this coming Sunday, as well as our other two kids as well. But I'm coaching Clark, so that one's a little more special. But we'll see how it goes. But thank you guys.
All right. Well, I just want to tell you, it's my honor to be here, and I hope I can halfway fill the shoes that were here before me. Do the best I can. Lead us through our last year here, really, and it's just my honor. So I look forward to working with everybody. I love working with all of you. So I appreciate all the time that you put into this endeavor. I'll also just say one last thing is that, sometimes we get tired of hearing about the election. It's interesting to hear my new 18-year-old Winston, he's beside himself about being able to participate in the process and being able to vote for the first time. He's like, I've just now turned 18, and we registered and vote, and I took him, so we need to remember, we have our differences, I know, but it's so important to vote, and I used to take my children to Edgewood when they were real little, and they would see, kind of how it all worked, and it's just important to remember that. So I hope everyone will exercise your duty tomorrow in the election. So
I'm gonna make a comment. I one time had a meeting with a man from Malaysia in my days in Texas, and the voting was that day. And he said, "Did you vote?" And I said, "It was more of a local thing, I think." And I said, "No, I didn't get there." He said, "I always vote. I never miss a vote, because in my country I wasn't allowed to vote." And I have never forgotten that. I have never purposely missed a vote since then. It's just that opportunity that we don't appreciate sometimes until you go somewhere where you can't do it.
right. Yeah. All right, well, thank you, everyone, and we're now adjourned till the 18th.